Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we have a lot of catching up to do this week. We're going to start with this video. We're going to do our review for Game of Thrones Episode 3, Oathbreaker. And, well, it was a good episode. You know, nothing bad about it. It was nice to see Jon Snow back, and he carried out his sentence to those who conspired to assassinate him, including Thorne and Ollie, which looked like it broke his heart a little bit to do that. But Jon is about justice and honor, and he had to carry it out. No exceptions. One thing I want to start off with first is we're going to start with Arya, because I really haven't spoken about Arya in my prior two reviews, you know, considering the fact that they've shown her in all three episodes, beginning as a beggar, and now she is training with the waif to become an assassin. She's gotten her eyesight back. She has finally accepted that she is no one. She is no longer Arya Stark, and all the people of her past are just, I don't want to say they're nothing to her. I'm sure she'll never forget them. But if she wants to continue this lifestyle, it'll be interesting, because if she ever ran into like Sansa or Jon or any of her family, she would basically have to not really acknowledge them. She would probably, first of all, she'd probably be disguised as somebody else, and then she couldn't address them as her family. She's no one now. She is no one. She's going to be a girl of many faces at some point. So it's going to be interesting to see her journey now that she is, I don't want to say is done with her training, but she's reached the next step in the training in terms of now they believe that they have convinced her that she is no one. She has accepted that she is no one, and now she's going to go forward with this lifestyle, and we'll see where it takes her. So back in Westeros, you know, we see that Tommin is trying to really see his wife, get some justice for his mother, and to be quite honest, he just doesn't have that Lannister fire that Joffrey had, or maybe if you want to call it like being psycho, that Lannister psychoness that his brother has, or his brother had, and his mother has. And, you know, he actually had a conversation with the Sparrow, and, you know, I don't know if that was such a good thing. You know, it looks like the Sparrow had a little bit of influence on him, trying to make him see things from his perspective. So we'll see where that takes him. And in the meanwhile, Cersei and Jaime try to, you know, intrude on a council meeting. It's so funny, Master Pycelle, when he broke wind, either that or he shot himself when he saw the mountain. And, you know, it's funny, they walked in on him basically talking about that. And, but even with the mountain there, not a lot got accomplished. You know, Cersei and Jaime pretty much got, shunned away. You know, she's not the queen anymore. You know, Jaime is just a Knight's Guard, the Lord of the Knight's Guard. So there's not really much they can do politically. Whether or not Cersei is going to turn to violence, even against her own family, in terms of her uncle, and as well as this allegiance they have with the Tyrells, you know, which is very shaky right now. Whether it's going to turn out that way remains to be seen. She's crazy enough to do it. Whether or not Jaime's going to follow suit, because Jaime's changed a lot. You know, yes, he's still all about his family. Yes, he wants to get justice for what happened to Cersei, but at the same time, I don't know if he's willing to go that far against an allegiance that his father prepared. And because he's a much different person than he was back in season 1 and season 2, he's a lot more humble now. I'm not sure if he's going to be willing to go that route if Cersei decides to do that. So that's another thing we'll have to wait and see. Now, up in Winterfell, very interesting. Ramsay is trying to push the issue that obviously he's Lord of Winterfell and blah, blah, blah. And you know, he's the Lord of the North, or rather he's the, they have a special, a Warden of the North. That's what the word I was looking for. Now he's Warden of the North, and I thought it was hilarious how the guy he was talking to was just basically telling him to go fuck himself. Like, he's willing to work with him, but he's not willing to kiss his ass. Is basically what it comes down to. But interesting enough, he did bring him two very valuable prisoners in Osha and Rickon Stark, and that's a big concern because we already know Ramsay has no mercy. You know, he has no mercy, and you know, I think Ramsay is smart enough to try and use Rickon as bait to get Sansa back to Winterfell, but he can just as easily kill him. So Rickon's future is very, very, very cloudy right now. We don't know what to expect. I suspect that Ramsay will keep him around to try and get Sansa back. If he has both Starks in Winterfell, and this is his thinking, this is not what's going to happen. But if he has both Starks in Winterfell and he impregnates Sansa and blah, 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 then I think he feels he can get the whole North on his side. But, you know, it's going to be interesting now because Jon Snow is back, even though to Ramsay he's always been there. And Jon Snow's watch is over. He said it at the end of the episode. He gave his stuff off. He said, where to burn it, my watch is ended. So he's free to do what he wants to do. I think right now he doesn't really quite know what's going on. He doesn't know Rickon's down in Winterfell, held captured by Ramsay. He doesn't know that Sansa's on her way up north to see him. So right now, I think Jon is going to be caught up in what's happened to him. He's going to be trying to accept and grasp the returning from the dead. And I don't think he's going to act until he's forced to. So either when he finds out about Rickon Stark or when Sansa gets to him or both, obviously they're paving the way for a big war in Winterfell between Jon Snow and the Wildlings and Davos and maybe some of Stannis' leftovers if he has any. Up against Ramsay and the Boltons and Winterfell and those who are rallying behind the Boltons. Now, I said in my previous review that I really think that once the North figures out that Jon is free of his watch and leading a team and that Sansa is with him, I think he's going to have a lot of the North rallying behind him to capture Winterfell. I think it's going to be a dominating win for the North and Jon Snow. But that's where it's leading to, so we'll have to see. Finally, we move across and we visit Daenerys, who is now with the other widows of the other Khals, the great Khals. And she kind of gets humbled a little bit. You know, she talks about all these titles she has. And the woman she's talking to is like, look, I've been there. I've wanted to do what it is you think you want to do in terms of this and that. It just doesn't work out that way. And it'll be interesting. First of all, whether or not they'll accept her, because there is some penalty that has to be paid for her not immediately going there after Drogo died. And at the same time, it's that versus how much time before Jorah, Daario, and the dragons get to her. And then, of course, Tyrion and Varys are dealing with the Harpies and all the other cities we find out now that are funding them to overthrow Daenerys. So very interesting stuff going on. We're going to definitely talk more about Game of Thrones this Sunday with our review. We will have it Sunday night, I promise. And we'll see what happens from there. Until then, this is Rob signing off for ETN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching ETN. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Join the nation's Facebook page to meet other subscribers or visit ETN's Facebook page and Twitter page. Links for all are in the description. You're watching ETN. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we have a lot of catching up to do this week. We're going to start with this video. We're going to do our review for Game of Thrones Episode 3, Oathbreaker. And, well, it was a good episode. You know, nothing bad about it. It was nice to see Jon Snow back, and he carried out his sentence to those who conspired to assassinate him, including Thorne and Ollie, which looked like it broke his heart a little bit to do that. But Jon is about justice and honor, and he had to carry it out. No exceptions. One thing I want to start off with first is we're going to start with Arya, because I really haven't spoken about Arya in my prior two reviews, you know, considering the fact that they've shown her in all 3 episodes, beginning as a beggar, and now she is training with the Waif to become an assassin. She's gotten her eyesight back. She has finally accepted that she is no one. She is no longer Arya Stark, and all the people of her past are just, I don't want to say they're nothing to her. I'm sure she'll never forget them. But if she wants to continue this lifestyle, it'll be interesting, because if she